Hi there, this is my 1954 Chevy 3100. I picked this up in October, actually October 31st of 2014. Got it up in Michigan in a barn. It's been sitting there since, well, it was in the barn and since 1977. And the owner died in 1976, and it sat in the barn from 76 to about mid-90s, where the owner's son pulled it out and had someone do a paint job on it and new brakes and stuff like that on it. And there it sat from the mid-90s until 2014. My buddy went up and they pulled it out of the barn and actually started up and drove it on the trailer. So this is a Hydramatic truck, so it's got the automatic transmission in it. I believe this was the first year for the Chevy, and I think GMC had it in '53, but it's just the 3-window cab. It's in pretty good shape. I mean, the paint job on it is, decent. I think they painted it by hand, and to be honest with you, I am A-okay with that because I plan on using it as my farm truck. So it runs real good. Interior needs a little help because, well, all the gauges work, speedometer works, all that stuff. They did a really crappy patch job there, and there's a hole in the floor. But other than that, the floor is actually pretty damn solid. I did find that the heater core is leaking a little bit, so I'm going to pull that out of here eventually and get that rebuilt so it's actually working and doing me some good. It's got a radio in here. I know this is not a Chevy factory radio, so it's an aftermarket. I have no idea. It does work. When I had the 6-volt system in it, it was working, and once I converted it over to 12-volt this past summer, I just unplugged it. So we'll get that figured out sooner or later. Runs pretty good. Obviously, this original seat cover's got a little tear there and a tear here. Let's open up the hood and show you what she's working with. Now, I did run the numbers on the truck, and it's the engine and transmission are matching for 1954 for this truck. But I did put an alternator in it. It kind of looks goofy with a chrome alternator underneath here with all this old grease and stuff. And I know it looks like the carburetor is leaking gas, but it's not. I have no idea what they put on this thing, but it looks like it's leaking, and I'll tell you right now, it's not. I'm not sure what they did to it, but they put some type of sealant on there to keep it from leaking, and it did it. So when I got this truck, it was missing a little bit, and I found that 3 of the plug wires were broken. So I went in and fixed those plug wires, and sure enough, it started up and it did not miss. It runs and shifts through all the gears in each range. I believe they call it the dual range Hydramatic. And it runs good, so let's get it a start for her. Yeah. Now, these trucks here, they actually have the starter button on the dashboard. Hydramatic trucks had these, compared to the stomp starters for the, I think, 3-speed and the 4-speed. But turn the key on, show you the gauge here. There she goes. Not leaking at all. So she runs real good. She's pretty quiet. She, like I said, she runs pretty good. Does have a little bit of smoke coming out, but it's about 35 degrees out, so I'm not too worried about that, because when it was warmer this afternoon, it wasn't smoking at all. So it runs real good. We'll rev her up a little bit. So, there she is, 1954 Chevy 3100 with an automatic. Thanks for checking out my video. More to come.